Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And Altai has sent us a puzzle called A Pretty Flower, which I'm going to have a go at today. Interestingly, this features quadruples. We've been sent a couple of puzzles with quadruples in. Just after, we send a bit of inside revelation here. We send a batch of puzzles to the Wall Street Journal for each month. And one of the ones going to the Wall Street Journal this month that you won't have seen before is a quadruples puzzle. So it's been in the forefront of my mind for a bit, and then suddenly we get sent two. It's a bit like what we call here the London bus phenomenon of none come for ages and then you get two or three all at once. And it's a quadruples time, and we'll be looking at this puzzle in a moment. Yes, we are, in case you didn't know, Cracking the Cryptic is featured in the Wall Street Journal, 2 puzzles a week on their Saturday puzzles, although they come out on Thursday online. Do check those out. They're all, from now on, they're going to be all new puzzles, I think. Or, no, very occasionally we'll bring up puzzles that have featured on the channel before, but they don't feature this week. So, there we go. That's what's going on. Now, let's have a look at all the other things we do. And on Patreon, you can have a go at the Wind in the Willows Sudoku Hunt, featuring Mole trying to get through 12 chapters of his book and then open his advent calendar. Help him out. He's not very good at seeing things. So you can solve the Sudokus and sort out the advent calendar for Mr. Mole. Now, what else is going on Patreon? We've got crosswords and connections videos and a video of gridogram and clues by Sam lately. So all sorts are always happening on Patreon. Do join our puzzle club there. You can support SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD on a link under the video, or go to the apps, which feature not only the Worms, which are great sequential Sudoku solving exercises, but also such delights as Classic Sudoku 2, our latest one, Killer Sudoku, Domino Sudoku. They're both relevant today, but bunches and bunches of great puzzles to do over the holiday period or at any time. Do check it out. Now, let's have a look at the first link under this puzzle, A Pretty Flower by Altai. And we can see, I guess, if we were to colour the cages. Oh, and indeed, if you combine that with the little quadruple circles, we do have an image of a pretty flower here. There we go. Now, normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Actually, I'm going to advertise 2 more things. One is streaming of the blueprints, which we'll be doing on Mondays, again, tomorrow. So do check it out. We'll be there streaming the blueprints and having a great time, and we'd love it if you'd join us in chat. The second thing is that Simon has recorded a video solving a special crossword by me, but solving it with Peter Svidler, the former world number 4 chess player, former Russian champion of chess. He's an unbelievable chess player and commentator, also an Anglophile with interests in England cricket and, as you will discover in the video, English pastimes. It's a really interesting video. Now, getting back to the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box here. Digits in each cage sum to the number shown. That one is a 13 cage. Digits can't repeat in a cage. They couldn't have anyway, even without that rule being stated there. A white dot between 2 adjacent cells means the numbers in those cells are consecutive, and digits in a circle must appear in at least one of the 4 surrounding cells. So one of these 4 cells at least must be a 1 and one must be a 3. Give it a try on that first link. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, how do we start? If I was an avid pencil marker, I'd put 1, 2, 5, 9 in those cells and 1, 2, 4, 9 there. Now, this one can't be a 9 because the 7 cage won't allow that. And in fact, the 13 cage won't allow this to be a 1 or a 2. And that means the cage contains 4 and 9, because if that's a 4, that's a 9. If that's a 9, that's a 4. Then this digit can't be 9 or 4 by Sudoku elimination. Now, more than that, we've got more going on here because this cage can't contain a 4 and this cage can't contain a 4. But I'm going to tell you something very interesting about those two 7 cages, and that is that they can't contain the same digits. Just pause the video if you want and have a think about why. It's quite a pretty reason, I think, in this puzzle. But let's imagine they did both contain, say, 2 and 5. Where would those pink digits go in the bottom row? Well, they couldn't go in this box and they couldn't go in this box. They'd both have to go in this box, in this row, and thus in this cage. And if this cage contained those 2 pink digits adding up to 7, what would the third digit be? It would have to be an 11, but that's not a digit. And that's why I know that the 2 pink cages do not contain the same pair of digits. And because I know that a 7 cage can be made up in 3 ways, by 1, 6, 2, 5, or 3, 4, and I've ruled out 3, 4 from both because of the 4 sitting in this cage, looking at that cage, and looking at this cage. I know now that this is a group. I'm going to put the pink back, just because I want to tell myself for the future that these cages must contain all of 1, 2, 5, and 6. One of them is a 2, 5 cage, and one of them is a 1, 6 cage. Now, there's a number of ramifications. One of them is that 1, 2 have both been used up in row 7, one of them in this cage and one of them here. Actually, a much simpler one is that this 1, 7, oh no, I was going to call that a 1. That's not necessarily true. This doesn't have to be a 1 because 1 and 7 can sit in those cells. Okay, but there are other ramifications, and they are that this cell and these cells all see all of those pink digits. What do I mean by that? I mean that one can't be 1, 2, 5, or 6 because all of those 4 digits appear in the pink cells and that one sees them all. So it can't be any of those. It also can't be 4 or 9. So that is 3, 7, or 8. Now, over here, we don't have 4 or 9 ruled out, but we now know that this cage can't contain 5 or 6. Because the digits in it, the cells in it, see all of these pink digits, which do contain 5 and 6. Therefore, this can't be a 5, 8 or a 6, 7 cage, and this is another 4, 9 cage. Now we've got a situation where these 2 cages do contain 4 and 9, and that 4 and 9 have to be replicated into this 18 cage. And now we can ask, with a genuine answer, what's the third digit that goes in the cage? It must be a 5. 4 plus 9 is 13, plus 5 is 18. And we know the constituents of that 18 cage. That is a really pretty bit of the flower, I think. Now, the 5 here, is that giving us a 5? No, not particularly. Both the digits from this cage must be in those cells. Both the ones from this cage must be in those. Because of the white... Oh, can I use this white dot? Yes, of course I can. It's absolutely brazenly clear. This can't be a 9 because of the white dot. That's a 4. And this is a 5. I was going to come up with a complicated conclusion about this cell because of this white dot. None of that is necessary because of this white dot actually giving us the digits here. That becomes a 1. Now, that takes 1 off the other cells around the quadruple. Now that we know that this isn't a 5-2 cage, because that has appeared in pink, this must be a 1-6 cage. I'm going to get rid of the pink colouring now. Now I can place 5 from this cage in this box. It's got to be there. And 2 is in one of these cells. Now, what are these from? We've used 1, 4, 5, 6, 9 in the box. We've got 2, 3, 7, and 8 to go. There must be a 2 in one of those, but we don't know whether the white dot is 2, 3, or 7, 8. I don't think I do know. I do know that this 1-7 quadruple needs a 1 on it, and I'm going to mark 1 across the box border in one of those cells. Actually, maybe it's time to think about these 13 and 7 cages up here, which look remarkably similar. There's even to the extent that there's an 18 cage in the top row. Can we do the same trick? I don't think so. It was obvious to us down here that this was a 4-9 cage. I mean, we can immediately do the same trick of saying that these two 7 cages can't have the same digits in, because then they would replicate into this 18 cage along with an 11. But that's not quite as powerful when you don't know what the makeups of any cages are. Okay. I need to figure out the next move. 2 is looking at this quadruple. That means 2 is in one of those cells, and this is not a 2. 2 is also in one of these cells. I hadn't noticed that until now. Oh, 1 around this quadruple. Right, I know where it goes. It can't go in the 13 cage with a 12, and that 1 is keeping it out of those cells. So I get to put in a 1 there. That fixes the 6-1 cage down here. That means 1 is going to be in one of these cells in box 3. And this cage is either 2-5 or 3-4 now. It can't be the 1-6 variety. 1 is also now ruled out of those cells. So one of these two on this quadruple clue is a 1. And now that's not a 1. So now we've got either 1 or 5 in this cell. This is 2 or 6. We need a 3 somewhere around this quadruple clue, which I haven't pencil marked, because that's across 3 boxes. That's really going to confuse me. Aha. Oh, look, it's the same trick down the left-hand columns. What can't go in here because of that same trick? And the answer is 2-5. Because look, you'd get this 2-5 X-wing, where 2 and 5 in the final column would both be forced into this 19 cage and would have to have a 12 as a companion. Oh, that's lovely. So that's 6 and 1. Now I can rule 1 out of this cell, very obviously. I was going to say, now I know this cage isn't a 6-1 cage, but I already knew that. I'm going to remove the pink colouring from there. This can't be a 6-7 cage now, so it's either 4-9, our favourite 13 combination, or 5-8. This could be the same as that. There's no reason to not think so. 9 is actually looking at that cell. I hadn't seen that. That makes it a 5. This is now a 2-9 pair. They're looking at that digit, which can't be 9. Are they doing anything else? We've got to put 1 and 7 around here. No. 5, 5. There's no 5 in the 19 cage. And that just rules out 9, 6, 5. Not sure that it rules out anything else. We've got a 5 here. 1, 6, 4, 5, 9. We need a 6 in one of these two cells. Just by the magic of Sudoku. We need a 6 in one of those that isn't in the middle. 5, 2, 4, 9, 6. Now, 2 of these digits are from 3, 7, 8. And they're going to have to go in these cells when they get into box 7. So those must be selected from 3, 7, 8. Oh, if I could say 3 was definitely amongst them, then 3 would have to go up here. One of those two could go in the 13 cage. Not if it was a 7, actually, and not if it was a 3. I feel there's something going on here, but I don't know quite what it is. This can't be a 1. So we found the one around the 1-7 quadruple. Is that helpful? That puts 1 in one of these positions. If 1 was there, this would be a 9-8 pair to make up the 18 cage. And on the white dot, this would have to be a 7. That would be the only way you could do it. I can't work out if that is or isn't feasible particularly. If it was a 9-8 cage, that digit would become a 2. I know I now need a 3 in one of these two cells for this quadruple. That's not doing anything else. I mean, I do like the way this puzzle is leading us through, but I'm not exactly setting it alight with skills here. Is that a 7-8 pair or a 2-3 pair? I don't know, but it's one or the other. So this is a similar pair. And if that can't be 2, this can't be 3. It's not very strong. This digit on the white dot could be 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, or 9. That is not at all helpful. 5, and these two in box 3. No, not very interesting. Maybe I do need to think about this white dot. Okay, well, let's go a little further in the idea of this being a 1 with 9, 8, 7 around it. 6 would now have to be in one of those cells in the row. And that digit would end up being 2 or 3. There are quite a lot of substantial ramifications, but I don't see that they are invalidating anything completely. Oh goodness, where am I meant to be looking? I know there's meant to be a 7 on this quadruple. The quadruples always do a lot more work than you realise. I do gradually learn that as well. No, I don't know. So this one can't be a 6-7 pair. So again, like this, it's either 4-5 or 8-9. 4-9 or 8-5. There is... Oh, it can't have a 5 in. Look at that. Oh, there we go. It's a 4-9 pair. We know which way round. 4-9 is our favourite combination for these cages. This now can't have a 4 in and is a 2-5 pair. That's not a 5. Oh, this was blindingly obvious again. Right. 9-4 there. Now, if this... Well, this can't be a 5-8 pair because of the 5 that's gone in the pink cage, which doesn't need to be pink anymore. This is a 4-9 pair. That's a 4-9 pair. There's a 4-9 pair up here. There's no 1 in this 18 cage. There's a 5 in it. Instead, we can now place the 1 in box 2 and the 1 in box 3. And we must have almost all the 1s in the grid. We can't put a 1 in the 19 cage because the other two digits would have to add up to 18, and you cannot do that with Sudoku digits. That's probably been available for a little while. This digit is 3, 7, or 8. There's definitely a 2 there. We knew that before. Right, 4, 5, 9. The white dot. This could be an 8. Otherwise, it's from 3, 4, 5, not 6. Well, it can't be 5 or 4. Wow, this is 3 or 8. That can't be a 5 on it, the white dot with it. This is a 2, 4, 9 triple. I hadn't seen that coming. In fact, that's a 4, 9 pair. This digit is 2. That's on the quadruple. This digit is 5. Oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong mode. This digit is, what am I saying? 5. That's 2. This can't be 2, so this corner can't be 3. I was going to say we're not going to get a 3 in the corner, but there's still one possibility left. 1, 5, 2, 4, 9. Something's popping here. We've got that 4, 9 pair and that 4, 9 pair, and they go into the 19 cage in column 9, along with 6, if my maths is serving me. That's going to place 6 in box 3. That puts 6 in one of these two cells in row 2. 4, 6, 9. Or no, let's look at this box. We've got 3, 7, and 8 still to place. That's a triple in the column, and this digit in the corner is a 2. That's going with 3 on the white dot. Now this is 7 or 8, so that can't be 4. One of these is a 3 in the column, and that digit is 8. And we get a 9, 8 white dot, perhaps the least plausible. Now we've got 2, 3, and 7 to put in the top row. So the 2, 3's on the dot. Now I know where 5 goes in the box, and that's 8 by elimination. And now we can do this, because, in fact, we can put a 2 in the corner, because of the 3, 7 pair, and this is eliminated down to 4, 6, 9. And I could have done that ever since this 9, 4 pair emerged. All of these 13 cages are 9, 4 cages. That's lovely. Right. That's now a 2, 7 pair. We know the order. This is a 3, 8 pair. We need a 7 on this quadruple. I've noticed the quadruple for once. That gives me a 6 here. 8 and 3 in the row. Finished box 7. And that white dot is telling us another 8, 9 white dot exists in the puzzle. And we're firing through now. 4, 9 pair are looking at that, so it's a 2. That's a 9. 3, is that the only digit I haven't placed around a quadruple? Ah, well, I haven't resolved these two, and I'm about to, because 9 there makes this a 4. And if you were wondering what's going to solve this deadly pattern, this is it. Getting that 4 makes this a 9 on the quadruple circle. And I was wondering what was going to solve that deadly pattern, so well done if you were too. 8 and 3 because of that 3. This is a 5, 7, 8 triple. Don't know the order yet. This 4, 6, 9 triple, we now do know the order. That's going to sort out the 4, 6 pair. And this is just flowing beautifully, this puzzle now. Now, we are still going to need a 3 in one of those cells. 4, 5, 9, 1, 2... Some I don't know, there must be something happening that I can't see. Ah, there, look, there's a 4, 5 pair. That makes this a naked 6. What do I mean by that? I mean it sees the 4, 5 pair. In the same column it also sees 2, 9, 1, 7. And in the row it sees 8 and 3. The only possible digit remaining there is 6. That places 6 in box 2. All the 6s are done in the puzzle. This can't be 4. In this box 2, 3, 8, and 7. This digit sees 8 and 7. So again, naked, that's a 3. These two don't include 3, but the quadruple needs a 3, and that's the last substantial move we need. This is now an 8, 7 pair. We can do 3 and 7 in the final column. This is 7 or 8 as well, and that's a pair in the column. And these digits, I think, then have to be 2 and 5. Well, yes, the way to look at that maybe is where do we put the second edition of 7, 8 in this box? Because of that 7, 8 pair, they can't go here. So it goes here and is a 7, and that's going to let us do every digit we need. 5, 8, 7. This is 2 and 5. That's a 3, 2 pair that's been resolved. This is 5, 9, 4, and 5 and 4 at the top. That is a very pretty flower, Altai. Lovely puzzle. Not too hard, but just, you need to tackle it in the right order. And I really liked the discovery that those 7 cages couldn't be the same. That seemed very crucial to me. Lovely puzzle, very neatly done. And thank you, as always, for following us on the channel. Such a pleasure to have you with us, and hope to see you again soon. I say bye for now.